What's good, everybody? This is Ramen On Wheels, and I'm finally coming to you with that review on that Havana Classic 125. Now, if you also are interested in that Cali Classic, it's pretty much the exact same thing as this one. They have the exact same body style. The only difference is the handlebars look more like a retro motorcycle. Let's get into it. This review is my personal opinion of this scooter. I've been having this scooter for a little over 2 months now, and I have just about 200 miles. I'm going to give you the goods, the bads of this scooter, and all I love and hate about it. So let's do it. You got your standard horn, your signals, high beam, low beams, kill switch, and power button. So I'm going to go ahead and alternate between my gripes and likes about this scooter, because there are many, starting with this front section up here. Now, when it comes to the horn could be prone to dislocating. When I say dislocating, they're inside of here. You see that there's these wires. Now, the blue wire is the horn wire. This could shake loose from time to time, and all you have to do is push it back in, because otherwise, when it comes off, there's no signaling for your horn to blow, and it might shake out, and then you'll press it and no sound comes out. Just check to make sure that this is still connected. Starting with these headlights up here. First of all, they're completely made out of plastic. Even though this is like chrome, it's plastic. Now, one of my gripes is that when you turn the indicator light on, it blinks just fine. However, there's no sound indicator. So you have no idea if you left it on there or not, unless you glance down at the dash and see that the light is blinking. Otherwise, it's completely easy to forget that you even have them on. The headlights aren't as bright as I would like them to be. They are a standardized light bulb, and if I were you, I would go ahead and upgrade those bulbs. Your scooter usually needs to be on in order for you to use your high beams or your low beams. But this feature right here called passing, when you press it down, there's a third light that appears. One thing I found very confusing on this scooter is the gas tank. I ended up running out of gas once and almost ran out of gas a second time. And that's because it took me a while to realize this or figure this out. But the way the gas tank is set up, inside the tank, there's a gas line that tells you the gas cap, how far you're supposed to fill it and not pass that line. So once you fill it to that line, your gas needle or your gauge needle goes not to the full mark, but goes a good almost an inch past the full mark. So when you're thinking you're an inch away from the E on the gas needle, you're actually on E. The Havana Classic 125 is supposed to be able to get 90 miles to the gallon. However, in my experience, I got 75 to 80 miles. I find the dashboard to be simple and elegant, very easy to understand. It goes by miles per hour rather than kilometers, so you don't have to worry about that. One of my gripes is that the notches between empty and full are very difficult to quite gauge. Another annoyance of mine is that there are scooters where if you turn your key in the ignition to the left, your trunk automatically pops up. But in this case, you would have to remove the key and put it into the side and open it up. Now, there is little to no storage space under here. So this is the gas tank, which I have had no problems whatsoever of it leaking gas or it coming apart. It's on there pretty secure. Now, another issue is closing it. You can't just close it, otherwise it won't snap into place. You have to actually slam it down in order for it to close. There's very little that you can fit under the storage. I have enough space to fit, my disc lock brakes, indicator, fender, you know, GPS, cell phone case, GPS tracking system, my insurance and registration, my wheel lock brake, and surprisingly, my cover, which I guess that helps right here. There's like this indentation where the cover could kind of cozy itself in there. And that's what I can store. There's no possible way to store a helmet in there whatsoever.
It rides pretty smoothly in spite of having a small 12-inch front wheel and an even smaller back wheel.
Now, another gripe of mine is these mirrors right here. The frame as well as the mirror is made out of plastic. This is made out of a chrome metal. But what my issue with it is that since they're so circular, it really cuts off or limits your viewing, your rear view. I would more recommend the standard view, more rectangular version. That way your view is also not limited. These are also prone to, as you drive, loosen up. So either you really want to tighten it, but you don't want to strip them. So just know that over time they will slowly shake loose and become very easy to remove or undo. So you'll find yourself constantly have to adjust your mirrors to fit your viewpoint. If you 5'5" or higher, it might be perfectly fine when you sit down. This scooter is more for taller people. But if you find yourself shorter than that, you might find yourself standing on your tippy toes while you're sitting down. I'm 5'9", so I don't really have that issue. Now, if you take a look back here, you'll also see a chrome, but it's actually just plastic. And underneath, it's a hollow. So it's not anything like solid going on back here. There's a railing right here for your passengers. It's pretty sturdy. There's also a rack and top case that's optional, where you remove this and you put your rack on in your top case. This is the exhaust pipe, which it gets really hot. This is somewhat of a protectant. This is a chrome right here. Your fan. There's this mud gate guard right here. Now you have these foot pegs for your passenger. I like these because, they usually have, the scooters usually have the foot pegs built into the side of the scooter, whereas this one, the foot pegs come out. Now, I do not recommend putting your weight on these. You see this? You don't want to put all your weight. So when you stand on these or sit down on these, you put your feet on there. Don't actually climb up there with your feet. Now, these are also made out of metal, but don't put all your weight on these because you could snap them off. Also, if you guys can see in here, the shocks are very small. Therefore, you feel every bump and grind, every pothole, every obstacle in the road. If you hit it, you will feel it. Back wheels are 10-inch, so they're extremely small. You have over here where you put your oil. You put your oil here, you remove it there. Unlike the Cali Classic, if you want to mount a GPS, if you want to mount your phone, it's more difficult to mount something to this style of scooter because there's no real clamps. or no real bars or grips for you to mount it to.
There are a range of colors available to get this scooter in. However, I got the Arctic white, and as you can see, there's these blue specks. It's really pretty when you see it in the sunlight. There's a hook on the scooter that I find completely useless. It can't really hold anything well. If you were to hit any like potholes or bumps in the road, whatever bag or luggage you have on there would just pop right off.
In spite of having a few gripes here and there about certain features on the scooter, overall I find the build quality extremely excellent, especially in the price range it's in. If you are looking for that classic style look, it has the extended tail with the accent chromes, then this scooter is definitely something you want to check out.